welcome back to the channel, guys. Thanks for being here. I'm Rick. If you don't know who I am, I do videos based on my experiences with the post office and most recently with Amazon. So I've quit my job at Amazon, and now that I've left Amazon, I can talk about my experience at Amazon. I did a video prior to this. It's probably been about a month and a half or so, kind of just talking about the fact that I'd moved to Amazon because of the fact that when I was at the post office prior, I was getting 40 to 60 hours a week, which was really great. And then Amazon opened their warehouse and started doing their own deliveries, and it took probably about 85% of our Amazon package volume, which reduced me down to about 6 or 7 hours a week as a CCA. So I wasn't a regular carrier or anything. So that's just a little backstory on some of the previous videos and some of my experience with what happened there and why I went to Amazon. So let's talk a little bit about what it's like to work for an Amazon DSP, which is a delivery service partner. And essentially what a DSP is they're contracted via Amazon to deliver their packages for the customers. It's the basic gist of it. And that is what a DSP is. That's what they do. Contracted by Amazon. So let's talk about what that job, who is good for that job. I would say anyone who is looking to make some good money in a relatively quick way, because you did get paid weekly. Now that could be determined by whichever DSP that you're with, but I was paid weekly, and when I was working for them, if I worked 5 or more days a week, I was making roughly anywhere from $1,000 to $1,200 a week, which is quite a bit. It's a good amount. I'm just gonna put these on because that's kind of bright. Which is quite a bit. It's a decent amount. You're gonna make some good money working there. Because anything over your 40-hour mark is gonna be all overtime. So that's good. Trying to stay focused here on what we're talking about. So again, it's for somebody who is probably looking for a job now. It's really easy to get into as long as you have a relatively clean driving record and you don't do any drugs and your criminal background is pretty decent. For me, I don't have any prior vehicle violations or tickets or anything like that, and I don't do any drugs or anything, so and no criminal background. So it's very easy for me to get into, especially transitioning from the post office. What else? Who else is it good for? I would say it's probably good for someone who just turned 8. I think you have to be 21. I'm not sure. 18 or 21. One of those two. It's good for someone right out of college, probably, or just somebody looking for a job and looking to make some good money quick. It's also a really good stepping stone if you're trying to get into working for another delivery service, possibly, because it just gives you that experience of handling a larger vehicle as well as delivering packages and learning the process. Who is it not good for? I would say if you're in it for the long haul, it is going to beat you down because you are going to work hard and you are going to work a lot. Relatively speaking, you're going to be working a lot. But that's all based on your DSP, and that's all based on how much you want to work. So So let's talk about the pros and cons and why I left Amazon, and I'll do another video on where I'm going next. So the pros are, it's good pay. You do get benefits. So I believe you get basic dental, health, and vision. For me, I did not take advantage of those things because I am covered under the VA, so I don't need to take advantage of those things. I believe you only have to work there for 30 days. I could be wrong. It could be longer than that. It could be 45 days or something like that. And then you get your initial benefit, like eligibility, and you'll be able to sign up. They'll give you a packet, and you can fill it out and send an email back, or however they want to do it on their DSPs. It's probably all different via whoever DSPs you go with. Flexibility of time. I was very fortunate to have been able to take a lot of time this summer off, or essentially like work an extra day in with my days off. So like I was only working 4 days a week and getting 3 days off, and that was really nice. Your days are anywhere from 10 to 12 hours depending on your parcel volume. I'm going to tell you right now that your average day is going to be 12 hours. Probably 85%, 90% of the time, your day is going to be 12 hours. It's going to be long. Now, that could vary based on your DSP as well as the Amazon facility that you're working at or going to work at. So that was really nice. I was able to take a lot of time off during the summertime while I had my kids, and we were able to go do a lot of things. Go to the lake and do all that sort of stuff. Camping, hiking. And so for somebody that's looking for some good flexibility, you'll have, again, it varies on your DSP, but in my experience, I was able to take time off to go to appointments, go do things for my car or whatever. It was very flexible, and so that was really good. And probably the last thing I would say is the management was really great. My boss, really great guy, super nice, very flexible, and very, very understanding with family situations and just situations in general. Again, that's going to vary in your DSP and who your bosses and your management are. But for me, it was a very good experience. I had some great leadership who were they were good at mentoring and leading. So I was very fortunate to have those things. So far it sounds like a great gig. It does. Me talking about it now, it's like, man, this sounds like a great job. Why did you leave? Well, so let's talk about the cons. So, you are going to work long days. Now, I like to work, and I will work long days. You're going to work, again, I said on average, probably a 12-hour day. You start at 9:45, at least for me. Probably, again, varies via DSP, because I think they shuttle out alternating routes. One might leave at 10 o'clock, one might leave at 10:30, one might leave at 11. And these are groups of like 35, 40 vehicles. Something like that. So what I'm getting to is, on average, your days, your stop count, at least, again, this is in my experience, so it could differ via your DSPs. My stop counts average anywhere from the low end of 120 stops up to, I think the highest I ever had was 149 stops. Now, working for the post office, you might think that's actually not too bad. That's actually probably right on average about what we do in the city or something like that, right? Or on a rural route. Well, no, not necessarily, because the way that Amazon's delivery system works, it's on a phone. They use a specific app, and in these stops, it could actually be one stop and 5 locations, or one stop and 9 locations. And what that means is you could have a business on the street level is your first stop in that stop. And your other stops could be apartments that are up above in the building above it, or just to the side of it. So that building, basically what I'm saying is that any other additional stops in that one stop can be anywhere within 150 feet of your original stop. And they can put those into your one stop. So you could theoretically have 9 stops in one stop. So if you have 149 stops, plus all of the what we call multi-ping or multi-location stops in one stop, you could theoretically have like 225 stops or more or less. And your package count, at least for me, I would say on the low end 200, and on the high end, the highest I ever had was 296 packages, 149 stops. That was a really long day. So that's the first thing that's quite annoying, is that they give you, essentially what they do is Amazon, I say they, I mean Amazon, not the DSP. This is all Amazon's doing here and how they design things. They will cram as many stops as they can in your block of time. So if your block of time is, let's say that they think that your first delivery will be at 11:30 a.m. They want your last delivery to be whatever that time is going to be that it's going to take you to get back to the station. So for me, as an example, it takes 1 hour for me to reach my destination to get to my first stop. And then it takes an hour to get back to the station. You have to be clocked out, at least for our DSP, by 8:30. So you already have a 2-hour disadvantage, really a 1-hour disadvantage, because on average, most of the drivers who were closer to the station, it only took them 30 minutes or less to get to their first stop, giving them roughly an hour more to deliver, which means, because on average, they want to see you deliver 20 stops in an hour. So on average, they're already getting 20 more stops than me. So the expectation was that you're going to go out to your destination, at least for me, and you will have the same amount of stops as someone who is closer, and expected to be able to deliver all of those packages and return with nothing at the end of the day. Okay. Now, some days that was possible. Most days it was not. I would say that I, on average, finished my route 65% of the time. The other percent of that time, I would have to get rescued, which is when someone would finish their route and they'd have to come and help you, or they would take some packages off you, take some stops off you, or they have what's called a sweeper, who is, their job is specifically to go out to the area where all of the other drivers are and take packages from them, anywhere from 15 to 30 stops at a time, and to reduce that workload for everyone, as many people as they can hit, essentially. So already I'm at a disadvantage for delivering, getting packages done. Now, I've heard it before, people say, well, deliver what you can deliver. Get things done that you can get done, and don't stress if you can't get it delivered. Well, I'm not that kind of person. Unfortunately, for me, I don't like to fail. If I've been given a set of packages and stops, whatever, I'm going to get it done. And I will try my best. So that goes into my next bit, which is breaks and lunches. Oh boy, here we go. So, again, this is going to vary. If you're at a DSP and you get a sweet freaking route, and by the way, you're not going to get the same route every single time. I was very fortunate that 90% of the time I got the same route every day. Now, same route is relative, meaning that I was in the same areas every day. Doesn't mean that I hit the same stops every single day. A lot of people order stuff every single day. That's just a thing. They all do it. You get people who order 2 packages a day, 5 packages a day, 10 packages a day. It happens. So, for me, in my experience, I wasn't really able to take breaks because I didn't have the time. Now, if I was in the city and I was at a place where I knew there was a restroom, I would certainly take a break. But if I'm in a rural area, and I know that my stops are anywhere between 2 to 9 minutes apart. By the way, the average delivery time that Amazon expects is 15 seconds per delivery. Not realistic. Then it's really hard to take a break. Extremely hard to take a break. Lunches, you can freaking forget about it. At least in my experience, there was no way that I could afford to take a 30-minute lunch and 2 15-minute breaks, which equates to another hour of no deliveries. Impossible. Now, there are superstar delivery drivers out there. And there might be some people who watch this video and be like, I do this for a living. I can do 140 stops and get done at 5, 6 o'clock. And it's totally possible because people at my DSP that I worked at, they got finished at 6 o'clock. 140 stops, 130 stops. And the reason that they're able to do that is because they run to every house. Drive to the house, get out, run to the door, run back. I'm not doing that. Did it at the post office, got injured, not doing it again. Not in the Army, not running anymore. So I'm not doing it. So yeah, lunches and breaks. Good freaking luck. If you have to take a pee, if you're a guy, you're good. Make sure you bring a Gatorade bottle because that's what you're going to be peeing in. Sad but true. God forbid you have to go number 2, because if you do, and you're in a rural area, you're hosed. Because you're not going to find a bathroom. So, you're on the road the whole day, you're delivering all day, you're not really getting any breaks. It's a rough gig. So basically what it came down to for me is making stops, putting as many stops as they could into a block and expecting it to be finished every day. What I can equate that to is if you ever worked at the post office and you remember peak season, that is what it is like to be a DSP, an Amazon driver. It is peak season every day. So, anyways, guys, that's enough for now. I'll do another video here in a bit in regards to where I'm going and what the future holds for me. So thanks again for watching. Please, if you've stuck it all the way through the end of this video, I know it's going to be over 20 minutes now, but if you managed to make it all the way through, thank you so much. Don't forget to like the video if you liked it. Leave a comment below if you have any questions about Amazon, being an Amazon delivery driver, or I might be able to answer some questions about the flex drivers. And don't forget to subscribe. I have a bunch of other videos about my CCA experience as a city carrier assistant for the post office, and my experience at Amazon. I only have 2 videos. This is the second one. Probably won't do any more of those. And I have some other videos which are unrelated to those, which are ambient music. Use them to go to sleep. Really great. Zonk out. Super nice. Anyways, guys, thanks again for watching. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.